This is one of the favourite days of the year, the Rugby League Challenge Cup. Energy and noise and a big crowd for a big Rugby League occasion.
Good afternoon and welcome to York. We are at the LNER Community Stadium this afternoon for what we hope is the pick of the ties in round 4 of the Betfred Challenge Cup. An all Betfred Championship affair, York City Knights against the Newcastle Thunder alongside a grand final winner, St Helens forward Kyle Amor. This is the part of the competition, Kyle, where it feels like it's getting a bit serious, this.
Yeah, it certainly does, and you know, today we're going to be treated to hopefully a wonderful game, perfect conditions really, considering what we've had over the last few weeks. So, you know, both of these sides come into this sort of 2 from 4 wins in the league, but all of that can be put to one side, and today's all about winning and getting through to the next round. Yeah,
without boring people about the weather, let's talk about the conditions, because it is absolutely glorious. And you know as well as anyone, the last few weeks have been awful, ugly mud baths, so we should actually have a very watchable game today.
Definitely, yeah. Hopefully we'll get to see the ball thrown around a bit as well, and some great tries, and I'm sure there'll be a decent crowd here today. It's just, this is what it's more like, and this is supposed to be summer rugby, and we seem like we're heading that way now.
And when we talk about these two sides going toe-to-toe today, York and Newcastle, we describe them both really as ambitious. York with eyes, quite immediate eyes on the Betfred Super League, and Newcastle starting to make steps towards there themselves, albeit their plan a little bit longer, I think. Yeah,
definitely. You know, obviously those guys are full time. They are an ambitious club. They've had an awful lot of resources and money put into them. So a long trip in the cup would be great for the club and great for the fans. But you know, I just look around here every time I come to this stadium. It's almost crying out to be a Super League side within itself. So there's plenty of building from both sides, and that's what you want. That you want teams to be ambitious and throwing everything at it.
And Newcastle have got a guy upstairs, the director of rugby, one of the legends of rugby league in Dennis Betts, who's won it 7 times, I think, as a fellow winner yourself, and a Challenge Cup winner with a try score at Wembley as well. You've been over. I know that's one of your favourite memories.
Yeah, it certainly is.
People need to really cherish what is magical about this competition.
Yeah, no, this is, for me, this is where you kind of dream as a kid. You know, it's almost like the FA Cup in football. It's what to get it on the pinnacle of being at Wembley as well is awesome. Now I know this year it's going to be over at Tottenham Stadium, but equally that's quite exciting itself. It's going to be the first time that it's played there, away from Wembley as well. So the prize is huge, and the efforts and the rewards that the players will get is a chance to hopefully get them dreams and aspirations that I certainly have been through.
We're really looking forward to this. 2 ambitious sides going head to head, and both with hungry young coaches. Let's hear from them. James, great to see you. First of all, how are you? How are the team, and how's the week been leading up to this big cup tie?
Yeah, thanks for asking. I'm good, mate, to be honest. We had a good pre-season. The boys, we've won 2 out of 4 in the 2 we've lost. I think we've shown elements that are positive, and the group's really on board with the areas we're looking to improve upon. So yeah, it's going to be a tough challenge for us today, but we've had a good week of prep building into it.
It's effectively another week, another game, another championship opponent, but it is a little bit different. Does it feel that way?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, obviously the pressure of the league is not on today. It's a cup competition. I think both teams are looking at the squads. I don't want to speak for Eamon or Dennis, but I think both teams have used this as an opportunity to blood some younger players, and those players only get better by playing. There's no point in stockpiling them and not giving them opportunity, and I'm really excited to see what they can deliver today.
You've showed some good and probably some things to work on so far this season. What are you wanting to see from your set of players today?
Yeah, well, what we spoke about is attacking better, doing our attacking plan with more conviction. Getting to the right defenders and being willing to pull the trigger, playing with a little bit more confidence in that area. And then we've looked at I won't name the teams, a couple of teams that we think are a little bit in front of us in 1 or 2 areas of the game. For example, they're 40 trap D, and we're aspiring to catch them and pass them in that area of the game this week and beyond.
I was speaking to your captain Chris Clarkson during the week, who I know from Leeds, who had a catch up, and then we had a bit of a chat about the season and the game, and he said what you did in getting to Wembley with the 1895 Cup really gave you a lift last year, and that's something that he's keen to kind of replicate again this year.
Yeah, it did. I think the whole experience really enabled the team to to gel, if you like. Obviously with the COVID restrictions before that, I felt like we played like a bunch of individuals, you know, at the start of the season. Towards the end of the season, I thought we started playing more like a York team, and that's what we want to continue this season.
And a word on today, just looking around, it's absolutely glorious. This feels like kind of like the first week of the season. We might see some proper good rugby rather than an ugly mud bath which we've had in recent weeks.
We've been challenged, haven't we, with some testing conditions. Not just us, everybody across the country in rugby league has been really challenged with some of the stuff we've had to play in. But you know, all the players should be really proud of how they've dealt with that. And you're right, no, it's far better conditions today, and hopefully we can play our style of rugby better than we have done previously.
Well, great to see you. Good luck today.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Eamon, great to see you. This is more like it, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes a nice change. We've had some bad ones the last 4 weeks, so I'm looking forward to this one today.
What's the week been like for you and the players in preparation for quite a big game?
Yeah, exciting one. We've made a couple of changes just in terms of our preparation and what days we're training. I spoke to the lads in the week just how exciting the Challenge Cup is, and kind of always has a different feel. So we wanted to enjoy that, and the lads have.
Yeah, talk to me a bit more about that, because effectively it is just the week rolling on, the season rolling on, another game, another championship opponent. But as you said to me when we spoke during the week, there's something about the cup that does make it feel different. Yeah,
I think it's that little bit of anticipation that you don't win today, you're out. And one thing that's really important for us as a group, especially a new group, is that we continue to play. If we're out today, that we've got a couple of weeks off, which we're not quite ready for yet at this stage of the season. So although we've not really spoken about it, I think the lads are aware of it as well. Not only that we have been improving week on week, so really important that we continue to do so.
Yeah, I was going to say, regardless of the competition, is today and coming to somewhere and someone like York a good opportunity for you to see where your team is at?
Yeah, certainly, yeah, and I've no doubt that there'll be times where we go through some adversity today, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how we sort of come through that. That's been something that we've spoken about, certainly on the discipline side of things. We need to be better with that. So they're a great opposition, and be a great test for us today.
Conditions are far better than we've been used to in the last few weeks. What kind of game do you think our viewers on the Sportsman will be able to watch today?
Well, I think York will challenge us with the ball. I think they'll move the ball around, and we're certainly looking to do something similar as well. So attacking side, certainly that, but hopefully a good defensive display from us. We've spoken about that all week. That's been kind of our theme. Defensively, we're going to have to be good, because there's some threats in their side. So yeah, hopefully just a really good game.
We hope so too. Good luck.
Cheers, mate.
Two ambitious, hungry young coaches and two very ambitious Betfred Championship sides. Very good afternoon from George Riding, and look at that for a setting. Glorious weather. Blimey, we've been waiting for this, haven't we, after weeks and weeks of playing rugby league in ice storms, hail, heavy rain, mud baths. Absolutely perfect today for York City Knights versus Newcastle Thunder, live and exclusive from the LNER Community Stadium on the Sportsman in the Betfred Challenge Cup 4th rounds. The two sides finalising their warm-ups. Off go York, to applause from their fans in the main stand opposite us, and down the tunnel they go. Newcastle staying out there. You heard from Freddie. Eamon O'Carroll in great form and really looking forward to this one. He is. Let's confirm the two sides selected by James Ford and Eamon O'Carroll for this afternoon's contest. York will line up like this, with Matty Marsh and all his experience at fullback. Then it's Brad Ward, James Glover, Jacob Ogden and AJ Towse. The halves, Liam Harris and the experienced head of the scrum half, Jamie Ellis. Masi Matongo up front, the hooker is Will Job and Ronan Michael, and completing the 13. Speaking of experience, doesn't come much more than Danny Kermond alongside Toby Warren and Jordan Thompson. The bench today, Chris Brining, Jack Teamby, Ronan Dixon and Marcus Stock for the head coach of York, James Ford. This is the side selected by Eamon O'Carroll for the Newcastle Thunder. Craig Mullen is the fullback, then Gideon Boafo, Isaac Noakes, Alex Sutton and Alex Donaghy. Jake Shorrock in the halves with Josh Woods, Patrick Moran, Josh Eves and Ed Chaplow, and completing the 13 is Matt Nicholson, Bradley Gallagher and Sam Hallis. The bench today: Bailey Connor, James Chaplow, Lewis Peachy and Nathan Wild for the head coach Eamon O'Carroll. Sam Mikolauskas is our match referee. Alongside me, a man who has scored a try at Wembley in a Challenge Cup final victory, Kyle Amor. Looking forward to this one and enjoying the sunshine, Kyle.
Certainly are, George. Yeah, great to be here. Well, as you mentioned there, we've been treated to some nice weather today. Get out of those mud baths that you mentioned earlier on. But for these two sides today, there is a chance of progressing through to the next round and ultimately taking that step towards that Challenge Cup final. So this year played at Tottenham, away from Wembley, but nevertheless, still the importance of the journey, and you can get so much out of it along the way as well as a team. You can build some dreams and create memories, I suppose, and these two sides will certainly be looking to do that today, George.
Where do you think the balance of power lies here? Speaking to Eamon O'Carroll during the week, he says Newcastle have a plan. They want to be like York. They want to be at the top table. They want to be in Super League. They're probably 3 or 5 years away themselves, and they reckon they're a couple of years behind York, which indicates that York are knocking on that door.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with that. Of course, Newcastle, they are an ambitious club, and people like Dennis Betts and Eamon O'Carroll involved, they are the right people to sort of take them up to the levels that they're speaking about, trying to catch up to clubs like York. But this York City night side as well, you just look around here, it's almost screaming out that it should be a Super League club. So a fantastic setup, great facilities, and for York, but they haven't started the season too well, have they, George? And obviously we are in a cup competition today, but we should reflect on the fact that both of these sides really have played 4 games and only won 2. So those dreams and ambitions, well, they need to certainly find the form a bit better in the league if they want to try and get up to Super League. And but here today, like I say, it's all about the cup competition and getting through.
I'm sure York City Knights fans will point out, though, that in those 2 wins out of 4, they've played 2 of the best teams around in the Betfred Championship. But speaking certainly to James Ford prior to kick-off, he knows that they've been in a lot of areas way off, but when they get it right, it could really click. So he'll be very, very confident, I think, today that if they do get it right, Newcastle are going to turn up here and perhaps potentially have a difficult afternoon. But the conditions could not be more perfect, and I mentioned that because we've had weeks and weeks of watching basically fighting in mud, haven't we? So it's going to be nice to actually watch some proper rugby league playing, hopefully, today.
Yeah, definitely. And people like Jamie Ellis, who orchestra so much of York City's ball movement. I'm expecting the ball to be thrown around today and seeing some good open, expansive rugby as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to this, George. And like I say, we're just heading towards the final few minutes before we get to kick off.
Well, James Ford makes his way out, the York City Knights head coach, and the crowd expectant. Beautiful afternoon here as Dennis Betts and Eamon O'Carroll make their way around the periphery. I reckon they might be joining us very close to our commentary position here in the gantry at the LNER Community Stadium. Expectant crowd. What will it bring, this? 2 sides with 2 wins out of 4 in the Betfred Championship. Today's task is altogether different. The prize, a place in the 5th round of Rugby League's most iconic cup competition. No route to Wembley, though. Tottenham Hotspur, if you're that way fortunate with St Helens, Kyle, this year. How do you fancy a trip to Spurs?
Oh, look, as a player, you always want to play in the biggest games, the best venues, and that Tottenham Hotspur one, it certainly looks a wonderful stadium, and they get a chance to play rugby league in a different part, although it is still in London, obviously, but in a different area of London as well. It's it'll be a special occasion for whoever gets there. Hopefully it is ourselves, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. But just on the two sides as well today, that you know, getting through and having that journey in the cup, you know, for these sides, you've got to be honest, the likelihood of them getting to all the way to the Challenge Cup final, you know, you'd be brave to bet on that. But to get Super League opposition at home, you know, these crowds are the crowds that they bring. You know, it'd be great for those clubs financially. So there is a lot of prize on offer today, and of course the extra carrot as well of the route to Wembley through the 1895 Cup.
Yes, and speaking to the York City Knights captain Chris Clarkson during the week, he referenced the fact that York went to Wembley last year in the 1895 Cup final and the lift it gave their form in the rest of the season. The two sides out, ready to go. Just awaiting the match official, Sam Michalowskis. Jamie Ellis already has the lime green kicking tee ready to go. But York, as we pause for the 13-second window to demonstrate support for the RFL's Tackle It initiative against all forms of discrimination, including racism. York in the black and gold trim, Newcastle Thunder in the emerald blue, and York kicking right to left to get us underway. Here we go. Ellis swing of the right boot, and Newcastle Thunder with the first set of 6 live on the Sportsman in round 4 of the Betfred Challenge Cup. Newcastle going strong up the middle early. Exactly what Eamon O'Carroll was promising they would do. Big, strong, physical start with hopefully no errors was what he wanted from his side. Josh Eaves is their hooker, wearing 9. Appeals already for a penalty. And they made decent inroads here up to the 40. It will be the last tackle, so they'll be looking for a good kick. Over the shoulder, and then the left boot, I beg your pardon, of Josh Woods, and a good, strong take unopposed from York, and they will start their own set on their own 40.
Yeah, terrific opening set there from Newcastle. You mentioned it, was just all the ball was in the middle channel there, and the kick from Josh Wood, it wasn't the best. And York City Knights now, they start with tackle 2, near enough on the halfway line.
Two sides testing each other out early. AJ Towers hugging this near left touchline. Will Jubb is the dummy half. Liam Harris has a little scamper, and then Jamie Ellis delays the ball, and Matty Marsh joins in, and York with a strong, powerful carry over halfway. Great early field position for the Knights. Ellis getting heavily involved in every play, and Matty Marsh joining in as well, running out of room far side. Touch judge goes to ground, much to the delight of the fans on the far side. Why do we always like seeing an official take a tumble? I don't know.
No.
Anyway, Newcastle have the ball back, and the Thunder have a penalty. Yeah. Piggyback up the pitch.
Yeah, not what James Ford would have wanted or needed. Just a high shot there. Just relieves the pressure from Newcastle. You know, York, they throw the ball there from left to right through good shape. Of course, I mentioned earlier that man Jamie Ellis at the heartbeat of it all.
You mentioned, Kyle, Super League experience. Jamie Ellis has that in abundance.
Yeah, there's plenty there through the ranks of York. Danny Kermond, Massi Matongo, of course Jordan Thompson as well, so they do have that edge on that, I suppose.
It's got a strong Castleford connection.
Yeah,
names you listed off. Here come Newcastle with a good early field position. Josh Eve buzzing around the ruck. They're looking to knock on the door now, that left channel, and all the way through. It's going to be there. What a start from the Thunder. Nothing York can do. And just like that, Craig Mullen gives Newcastle an early lead.
Terrific try. Ball shipped from right to left this time. A wonderful shape there from Newcastle. And Mullen when he gets the ball, gets into his hands, he just rolls it and seems to just go through a big hole. Manages to stumble his way over the line. I thought he was going to lose his feet, but he didn't. We'll just see here now. It's there. Mullen now, he creates a 3-on-2, rolls the ball. It's just there. I thought he was going to go. And he manages to keep his feet and score. Terrific start for Newcastle.
Straight off the back of the penalty, Newcastle have punished York with an early score from the fullback Craig Mullen. Blustery conditions, but fabulous start from the visitors.
It's a great start. When you come away from home as well, 4 minutes on the clock, and you strike first. Perfect start for them. And he converts.
No mistake, bang in front, converted score. And it's the Thunder making the early noise. They lead 6 points to 0.
Yeah, we just see here there. Jamie Ellis, he gets sucked in far too easy there. And Mullen, he's able to go around him, roll the ball, step off his left foot.
Bounces off the official.
Yeah. There was a couple of chances there where York defenders perhaps should have got hold of him. Take nothing away from Mullen, he done well to score. Pat Moran has had a number of carries already in this opening 5 minutes. You mentioned there the middle channel is something that Eamon O'Carroll was looking at. Perhaps sees a bit of weakness in York's side defensively. And Josh Eaves, keep your eye on him.
Yeah, great start this from Newcastle. They're after more.
Yeah.
Their tails are up. Eaves, that's a loose one. Nowhere near it, Jake Shorrocks.
Yeah, Jake Shorrocks looked at him there.
So, are you kidding me?
The death's there.
The ball's come out, it's a knock on.
No. The sloppy set there from Newcastle.
Got a bit excited, didn't they?
Yeah. There's a turnover right in the middle of the field.
The ball just popped out. There was the loose ball before that from...
Yeah, just a bit scratchy. You just needed to
Shorrocks.
Yeah. Settle it down. They've got numbers here. Keep your eyes well, Matty Marsh. It's perhaps the best attacking threat for York. So lively, dangerous, quick on his feet.
Yeah, playing as an auxiliary halfback really. These opening exchanges, Matty Marsh, as Jordan Thompson takes the drive in, and York have an opportunity here to respond immediately off the back of that handling error. And here they are again up the middle with Marsh, and Towers wanted that.
Yeah, Shorrock's not falling for that dummy there. They need to get him down. They have to do better there.
Will Job in the skull cap. Little reverse ball. Marsh says, come on, run behind me. Eventually gets caught. Not sure Jordan Thompson wanted it back. He'll straighten up and take the carry and be grounded in front of the post. Best field position of the match so far for the Knights. It's Job, feints left, goes right. Ellis pops one up and says, challenge for that in the sunshine. Where's it gone? It's come down. Have York got it down? No. They've just run out of room. It's going to be a dropout though, and it will be another set of 6 coming the Knights' way.
Yeah, real intelligent kick there from Jamie Ellis. Lands it exactly where it needs to be. You see here, just about a metre off the try line, perfect, making it an awkward kick, making that a mini ballot contest if you like. And of course that sun, well, it's glaring down in that bottom right hand corner, making it difficult for the catchers to see anything.
It's a dangerous drop out that just skids to the right twice. Very carefully picked up. It is blustery. It looks gorgeous, doesn't it, on the screen? I can tell you this wind wasn't up when we arrived, was it? Where's this come from? Second set on the Newcastle line for York as Ellis and Job link up again. That's the dangerous axis. And then they load up on this left-hand side and power towards the line, and Ogden is grounded a couple of feet short. But they're knocking at the door as Marsh from dummy half comes back to his halfback Harris. Little grubber kick through, brilliant pick-up, and the Knights do respond. Delicate grubber kick through from Liam Harris, gobbled up under the post, and York strike back to level.
Yeah, that's what you love to see, halves kicking for halves. There's a lovely kick, perfect weight on it, and Jamie Ellis, he's the beneficiary of it. Just dives over, for a simple score under the posts. A terrific response, and it all came about from Ellis's kick in the corner to force the repeat set, but it's here from Marsh. It's that little lovely kick, look at the weight on it. Perfect. Jamie Ellis scores, this will be 6-6.
He's been the player to sparkle most, you would say, in the first 8.5 minutes, and he's helped himself to a try for his efforts.
In Newcastle, they just couldn't hang on for another set, could they? You know, early in the game, but still defending your line. Clever from York, forcing goal line dropouts. And it was a desperate tackle in that left corner to deny, I think it was Marsh. But from here, half to half, lovely stuff.
The weight on that kick was beautiful.
Yeah, perfect. You know, the fullback, perhaps he could have got on the ball, take nothing away from the finish. He wanted the bounce and he got it. Bounced up perfectly for him, Jamie Ellis.
And Ellis making that run as a halfback who's accustomed to putting those kicks in. He knew exactly where it was poised to land. Great start here, live on the Sportsman at the LNER Community Stadium in the sunshine of York. York 6, Newcastle 6. Two hungry Betfred Championship sides. 2 wins out of 4 in the league so far. And this their crack at this illustrious cup competition, which, as Kyle mentioned, also carries the extra carrot of a passage into the advanced stages of the 1895 cup competition for the sides outside of Super League, where York got to taste Wembley.
Another great kick.
Too long though.
It's too long, but it's not bad if you think about it. Well, Newcastle Knights, they're the ones who have to get back. Sorry, Newcastle Thunder. They're the ones who have to get all the way back behind the ball, and York, they can just take an extra second and get the breath. So sometimes when you're bogged down in your own half of the field, that kick going too long, it's not always a bad player. 6 again being called here.
Yes, an early boost to Newcastle's efforts to get up the pitch this set. Sprightly start from both sides. Keen to put on a show. I think quite excited to have good conditions to play rugby league in after what we've experienced in recent weeks.
Yeah, this is what we sign up for.
I've been used the last few weeks to commentating on shirts that you've no idea what they are because they're so covered in mud you can't even forget about the names and the numbers. You don't even know what colour they are. Here come Newcastle. Can they respond now? Boafo wants it on this near right hand side. Play on, says the referee, and that's what they do with a try scorer Mullen straightening up and going under. Last tackle this.
Gets a quick play of the ball
to the left hand side. They go. Hangs one up for the winger left side. Brilliant take out of the air. Is it going to be put into touch? No. Lovely offload, and York come away with it brilliantly there.
Yeah, super stuff from York. Defence into attack. You done well to take that catch, have the presence of mind to offload back inside, and they're on a roll now, York.
This is a good game, this. Don't go anywhere. 6 apiece and both sides have come to play.
It's this stage in the game now, George, where the lungs just start burning. A little bit of fatigue setting in.
So says a prop forward who's normally looking at the bench after 12 minutes. Little kick.
There's a nothing kick that.
From Ogden, what's he doing there?
I don't think any of his teammates knew what was going on there.
Can't imagine that was in the pre-match manual from James Ford.
Ogden, not his job to kick that ball.
And it's back with Newcastle. They're going toe to toe. You have a set, we have a set. Let's see where we go. It's watchable at the moment. Hope you're enjoying it at home. 6 apiece, live Betfred Challenge Cup 4th round action. It's back with the Thunder attacking the line. Short ball, steps out of a couple here, but eventually grounded on the 4th tackle. And they're looking just to steal one more before they put a kick in. It will be the last.
Is it going to be the left channel again? Yes, that's exactly where they're going. Will he pop one up? They're going to run it this time, and they've got an extra man, and it's come off a York hand. They'll carry on and have a clean set to go out here. That was good from...
Oh, he's away again!
Towards the line for second! What a score! Magic from Mullen, and what a response from Newcastle.
Fantastic try from Mullen, that man again. He stays alive, the ball gets batted down by the far side winger of York, and he's the only one who has he's in the game, his head's in every play, and he dances his way over for another try.
Well, they had the tackle count wiped clean, but they didn't need it, because Mullen was on his toes and he was ready to go. And what a finish.
Yeah, Brad Ward, he bats the ball down, starts the set again for Newcastle, but everybody switches off in the black and yellow jerseys apart from that man. He seems to run past 6 players before they even realise what's going on. James Ford, he'll be more than that at half time, I've no doubt. You get taught right from a young age to play to the whistle. And they all just seem to switch off for a moment there, George, didn't they, on that far side?
And they've been made to pay from the dancing feet of Craig Mullen, who helps himself to a second try in the first 14 minutes with a kick to come. Newcastle have re-established their 6-point lead here. 2 converted tries from that man Craig Mullen has given Newcastle a really good platform here after 15 minutes of this cup tie.
Yeah. Look at here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at the reaction of York. It's not good enough. And Mullen,
it's almost like they thought it was going to be a penalty.
Yeah,
they just all stopped.
They all stopped, waiting for the referee's whistle, and it didn't come. Mullen once again. He's been involved. He's the try scorer for both of them, and he's the one who gives his side the lead again. It's important to get through a good set here. Kick the ball long. Set after point, so crucial. You just complete it and get through it.
So the momentum swinging back towards Eamon O'Carroll's Newcastle Thunder. A lot expected of Newcastle with their decision to go full time and try and fund their project that way, and the end goal, of course, the journey to Super League. O'Carroll telling me that perhaps it might take 3 years, perhaps it might be 5.
Yeah.
Patience, I think, was his word for
anyone
expecting anything sooner.
It's not going to happen overnight. It's just important that you keep building every week.
How about that for a kick? Well taken though by Matty Marsh.
Oh, that's not what you want. I think it's Chapelhow just jumps the gun. Ted Chapelhow just wanting his effort and desire's right. He wants to get off the line and belt his opposite number, but you have to be disciplined in doing so. And he just costs his side a cheap 30 metres.
Referee not ready to go, but that's gifted York this opportunity to hit back. So far it's been you strike one blow, we'll hit you back. Can York respond for a second time? Will Job waits from dummy half. He's going to come to this left hand side again through the arms of Liam Harris, looking to bring in Jacob Ogden, the left centre, at every opportunity. Job waiting to play the ball, Harris waiting on his right shoulder. Here he is once more, bypasses his runners, gives it to Jamie Ellis. Little show and go from Ellis, and then pops it up to his fullback, again joining the line, Matty Marsh. That's the dangerous link up, those two, Ellis and Marsh.
Yeah.
With Harris plugging the gaps in between. Up the middle with big Danny Kermans, former Wakefield Wildcat. Job has a glance over both shoulders, decides left is the call. Thompson pops it up to Harris, kicks to himself, pops up nicely for Newcastle, but if you're going to turn the ball over, that's exactly where you want to do it.
Absolutely, yeah. 2 metres off their own line, you're asking them to go 95 metres up the other end of the field. In defence like that, get numbers in. This is where you can really attack their attack, if you like, with your defence. Through line speed, restricting the metres,
Get them to kick from inside of the 40-metre line. You'll get the ball back in a good attacking set next. And Eves goes on a little scamper here. He'll do that more and more throughout the game.
Tasty start to this one as we approach the midway point of the first half. Live on the Sportsman. It's Newcastle leading here at York by 12 points to 6. Last tackle, Thunder. So they need a big kick.
And there's the kick, just inside the 40. Watch where York can bring this ball back now.
The chase is good. 3 of them there.
Yeah.
Plenty of energy has gone into this first quarter of the match from the visitors. That will please Eamon O'Carroll and Dennis Betts, who are watching just to our left here. That's a big hit. Get out of my way. Over halfway. Good response, York. Job.
Direct carry. Need more of that coming out their own end.
Harrison. That man Ogden again. Sweeping it across to this left-hand side. AJ Tao says this one will be mine. Will he have a scamper himself? No. Just comes back to Harris and then pops it up down the middle to big Masi Matongo. Last tackle though. Job will look for Ellis. There he goes. That one to the right boot, but he's got that wrong. That's gone very, very narrow. It will bounce. Newcastle don't challenge. They made a mistake there. I was going to say they don't challenge and just let York turn it over there, but then they have done, and they've gifted York this opportunity.
Poor error there.
And they offload to Job. This is good for the Knights. Here they come down the middle. Big contact on Ronan Michael, right in front of the post. Gift-wrapped opportunity for the home side. Job bypasses the big man and then floating. I'm not sure about that to AJ Towers. It gave him no chance.
No, wrong pass. Asking an awful lot from your winger there to try and catch that and stay in field. Poor end to the set there for York.
It wasn't even the end to the set. I mean, it is obviously, but it shouldn't have been.
Yeah,
what are you throwing passes like that?
At that perhaps point getting a bit excited. He was getting a bit quick. Got the ball back again on that far side. Perhaps just getting a bit excited. That's where you need composure in there. Just happy to stay down there, build pressure. The game's all about building pressure.
Well, he's a very cool, calm, collected, mild-mannered young man is James Ford, but if I was in his shoes I'd be seething watching that.
It's just a pressure release, isn't it? You know, they haven't really spent too much time down on Newcastle's line. Of course, we've seen when they did, they were able to again force a goal line dropout, build pressure, and as a result they got to try for it. But if you're just going to release the pressure by coming up with stupid plays like that, you're making it more and more difficult for your side.
It's allowed Newcastle out of jail here, and they've got them. They've got it up towards halfway, and the tackle count wiped clean. So a really sticky couple of minutes for the York City Knights, who were knocking at the door, and instead they're going to be defending their own line here, because that's how Newcastle can strike, and that's what they've been doing for the opening 21 or so minutes here. As Shorrock stakes it, and then the reverse, and they set up in a brilliant position here. Shorrock and Woods both getting involved. The play is to the left-hand side, and Woods once again. This is where all the danger has come so far. This is where Craig Mullen has scored his 2 tries, from this position. They're going to set up and take another carry towards the sticks. Now then, last tackle.
They're loading this left side up again, George.
It's going to be the left side play, or will he go on his own? It's a short ball. He wasn't ready for it.
No.
And York survive a very, very dangerous Newcastle Thunder attacker. They're going to take the quick tap here, and he's let them go. Don't often see the quick tap these days.
No,
referee's not normally ready for it. He was this time.
On the ball there, wasn't he?
Happy for that play to continue, and that's, well, look what it's done for York. Second tackle on halfway, and it's Ogden again, playing as an extra second row really.
Yeah, he's had some big involvement so far, some good direct carries, as is this one here. Pumps the legs, keeps going, gets aside another 5-10 metres.
Have a look at that. So really,
inside ball, Marsh.
Oh, there he goes. Marsh needs support, pumps it up, and they're over under the sticks. It all opened up.
Ronan Dixon.
And Dixon has hauled York back for a second time.
Not long been on the field, Dixon, and he finds himself scoring a vital try in this first half of the Challenge Cup. And it was that man, we mentioned him a number of times already, Marsh, to watch out for him. A gorgeous pass inside for him. Go straight through,
yes. What a great game this is.
Lovely deception there from 9, and it's Harris, inside ball. He almost got caught in two minds, yeah.
I think Jubb was the play on the inside, but his gaze was fixed beyond that. Popped it up for the substitute.
Eamon O'Carroll will be disappointed with the effort from marker there from Newcastle. You've got to pick up the danger men. You know Marsh is going to be sniffing and probing around that area. Just like straight through. Jamie Ellis converts.
No mistake at all. As you were.
Been a half of you score, we score. Tit for tat. But look at that there. The effort there from marker. It's not good enough.
I'm not sure we're giving enough credit there actually to Matty Marsh. He's picked out the perfect pass. And here we go, 25 in, 12 apiece. Supplied by Matty Marsh. The two fullbacks have been the starring men at the moment. 2 tries for Craig Mullen.
That's another good carry.
And Marsh with that little dance to get his side back level for the second time. So twice Newcastle have gone over, twice York have replied. Can the home side steady the ship and get themselves ahead? They've got a clean set of 6 here, tackle count wiped clean. So a much better passage of play for James Ford and his side. Jack Teamby who had that monstrous first carry, and they've wiped the tackle count again.
Teamby and Dixon introduced for York. They've had real impact off the bench. Teamby in particularly, Scottish international.
It's like bringing on a young Kyle Amor. No comment. Looking forward to seeing you get some minutes at some point this year. You must have forgotten how to play.
Yeah, no.
Here's Job. Oh, he did well to keep hold of that one, the aforementioned Teamby.
Must be his 3rd carry this set, Jack Teamby.
And 4th since coming on. This is good again for York. There's the danger man Marsh. There's another danger man Ellis. There's danger men all over the place. It pops up. Can it be a brilliant try? He's millimetres short. Or has he scored?
Oh, he got it.
Try awarded. What a try from York. Twice they've responded, and now they go back to back and hit the front. And that was a triumph of keeping the ball alive.
Wonderful try there. James Glover just steps off his right foot. I thought the play was dead. He somehow manages to offload the ball. Thea Marsh hits Glover, and it's his right foot step. He comes back inside, rounds a foot. Oh, it's a ridiculous flick out the back.
And Marsh has done well to score that.
Wonderful offload. Good stuff.
Fabulous rugby league from the York City Knights. 2 unanswered tries. They've turned a deficit into a lead. And Newcastle will just have to regroup now for the first time. 2 from 2 from the boot of the experienced Jamie Ellis. I would wager you can make that 3 from 3.
I just think the impact there of Teamby and Dixon.
Oh, massive.
Yeah. You look at the last 3 sets, those 2 men in particular just rolling the side forward. And when you do that and you play off speed and you give the ball to that man Jamie Ellis, with his experience at this level, more often than not he's going to pick the right pass, and he does so here. It's just catch and pass, draw the man, he steps back inside, but that flick, well, that's ridiculous, isn't it? Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, the big introductions of the big fellas, Teamby and Dixon, have turned this one around for the home side. And the sparkle of Matty Marsh finishing it off. First lead of the match for York as we approach the half hour. Live on the Sportsman, Kyle Amor with us for this one, a man who knows what it feels like to score a try at Wembley in a winning Challenge Cup final performance. Tottenham Hotspur, the destination for two lucky clubs in the Betfred Challenge Cup this season.
Oh,
that's
good
a
shot.
big contact.
That's a knock
Kept
on.
hold of the ball. No, he has knocked on. You're right. Must have cannoned back off the opponent. That's a big connection, and that's just what Newcastle needed.
Yeah, it's perfect response. Forcing the error, going after the middles. Eamon O'Carroll will be pleased with that. The door of opportunity opens as Newcastle have a scrum in a good attacking position. 40 out, middle of the field. Let's see what they've got in this set. I'm going to edge my bets and think at some stage in the set they're going to have a crack at that far right side of York again, aren't they?
That's where the joy has come from, and that's
Is that man there, the danger man?
That's where they go. First up. Oh, that's a brilliant defensive play.
I think they finally clicked on that he's the strike for Newcastle. Deal with him perfectly there.
Newcastle respond well. Very reorganised setup centrally in front of the sticks. Trailing for the first time. And again, just going right up the middle of the field.
Oh, he's lost the ball there.
He's lost the ball.
Yeah.
That's not the end of the
He's
set.
trying to offload, I think. And he doesn't need to do that. Just do your job, carry the ball. Speak about that pressure valve, but he's just let it off there. It's York head and feed.
And the home side in the ascendancy at the moment, in the sunshine here in York. Lovely drive up here, although less so for you, Kyle.
No comment on that one.
Might have been caught out.
Oh, good shot. Josh Eves going after him. Terrific stuff.
There's a bit of fizz in this contest now, isn't there?
Spicing up. The trick is just to keep it below boiling point, isn't it, George? Don't want to do anything stupid.
They're giving the ball a bit of air, the home side here. Underlining their confidence at the moment. Their tails are up, the Knights. See the fullback Matty Marsh just fizzing around, trying to get himself involved in every play.
You've done well there, Newcastle.
Gallagher is
20
the dummy
metres.
half. Ellis is going to kick from his own 40 on the last. It's a booming kick. Bounces twice, 3 times, and that allows the chase up.
You've got to get on that quicker. Look at that defence there. York up in the ante, going after them. Brave carries these now, coming off your own line, out of your own corner.
Under the pump at the moment, the visitors. The Knights are buoyant, roared on by those vocal pockets of supporters on the far side. On the Azuma stand. That's more like it though.
It's Jay Chapelau now, isn't it? Yeah.
It's James Chapelau off the bench. Jay Chapelau. Ed in the starting 13. Last tackle though.
Oh, that's a nice kick.
Wand of a left boot, but it'll be taken with ease and on the full and returned with a little bit of interest.
It's just set for set at the moment. Who's going to crack first during this spell?
Marsh taking over, orchestrating, glancing left, going right, giving it to Ellis, who immediately reverses the direction of attack. Gallagher again has a look and then just opts to go to the big man up the middle.
He does well there. Legs pumping. Last.
There's the last tackle, referee indicates. So another little glance left, and then Ellis will say challenge for that on the far side.
Great take.
Good, confident take by the winger.
Super stuff.
33 minutes in, what have you made of what you've seen from these two sides, Carl Amor?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to split them, to be fair. It has been a bit of a tit for tat game. You score, we score. It's just about riding those waves of momentum that you get. And when York had theirs, they managed to score 2 tries in that period. But now they've given offside away. And this will just allow Newcastle just to pump the ball 20 more metres forward as we head into the final few minutes of this game, first half, sorry. And Newcastle, they have looked good when they haven't had too much good ball, but when they have, they've moved it well.
We're looking for a response before half time. Will the visitors? Shorrocks. All the options again are down that left side. He's wiped the tackle count clean, the referee once more. So this has turned into a very, very good opportunity for Newcastle to find a response. Again they attack.
They're just
down that right defensive edge as York are concerned. They want a penalty. They want a quick play of the ball. They're going to get themselves in a bit of a pickle there, but eventually come to this right-hand side and power towards the line and held up just short of it. But this is good for Newcastle. Hallis was in there and then fizzed over to the left-hand side. York are there in number once more. Look at that.
That's good defence.
Taking him back for a loss of 10.
And as a result, the Newcastle players all have to get back behind the ball and reload. That's a wonderful tip there.
Here we go. He's done well to keep hold of that and gets the offload. I don't think he wanted that, and York will have it back. That was one too many.
Yeah. Not the best there from Chappell out. Just almost dumps the ball on the floor, asking Shorrocks to do too much to pick that up. As a result, well, York their first ones to react and dive on the loose ball. It's another solid carry there from that man.
It's had a big impact, hasn't it? As York get themselves up towards halfway. A Knight score before the break could really put a different slant on what we've seen. It's been very fiercely contested, very evenly fought, I would say. Just that mini purple patch from York with those back-to-back tries has proved the difference. This man has been good, Jacob Ogden. Last tackle.
Yeah, you do feel if York score again, it'll just rip the heart out of Newcastle.
It's Marsh to Ellis to go high, I'm sure. There we go. There's no challenge. In fact, one of the York players, was it Liam Harris, was yelling at the touch judge on this near side. I think the touch judge may have warned him, you can't compete, you're off. He yelled back, I was on.
Well, he's not going to change his mind, is he?
I've never seen an official change their mind from anything a player has said.
No.
In any sport.
Just get on with the game, get your job done.
And I would like to think that politeness and gentlemanly wise, rugby league probably leads the way.
Yeah, I think
so. Over a lot of sports.
Yeah.
I was actually speaking to the touch judge on this near side before the game, and he was telling me just. The ball goes to ground. Here we go.
Oh no!
It's a scamper towards the line. It's a gift. He's going to run in, and Newcastle will concede again before the break. Harris scores, and York have a bit of daylight. Gift wrapped by Newcastle.
Yeah, it certainly was, George. It was an awful kick. I'm not too sure what the thinking was from Shorrocks there. And as you mentioned, George, it's an absolute gift. Races 60 metres to put the ball down. And that's gonna be a mighty ball, that, for Newcastle. But there, such a poor kick. And he just races away, does Liam Harris. He won't score an easier try than that today. Again, I'm dumbfounded, really, thinking what was he trying to do.
Well, it was just meandering to a very ordinary end to a set, and suddenly they've conceded a try. I mean, Eamon O'Connell and Dennis Betts are watching this with us to our left. A penny for their thoughts, because I'm fuming on their behalf.
Well, he's very animated, Dennis Betts there.
He's seething. He's pacing at the moment.
It's just disappointing, you know, when you've worked so hard all half. And they have defended well of Newcastle when they've needed to gift them that try. It's not great. If anything, you just need to pump the ball downfield and just see the half out.
It's another beautiful conversion, right through the middle in blustery conditions from Jamie Ellis, and just like that, it's a 24-12 York lead, and it hasn't been that kind of half.
Yeah, it's that kick. I don't know where it was going, but Liam Harris isn't bothered. He just collects it and says thank you very much. As soon as he caught that, everybody just sat back in the chair knowing that he wasn't going to get caught.
Well, he'd just been arguing with the touch judge, and then 30 seconds later he's taken the ball in for a score. I think he might forget about that argument now.
Yeah.
I was saying just before he went away, I was speaking to this touch judge on the near side just before the game, and he was telling me he was a little bit concerned about how solid the ground was. He told me it was like running on concrete, which took me by surprise. Some of the games of rugby we've seen in the last few weeks, anything but.
It's a fantastic playing surface. But York, they'll just roll forward here, get through this set, see the half out. Perhaps got a little bit rattled early on with that early try from Newcastle, but
well, they've really lost their way kind of last 10 minutes or so, the visitors, haven't they?
I think so, yeah. I mentioned it earlier on. I think the interchange of the two middles has been a large part
Ellis
of that.
Wants a 40-20,
and he's out on the full.
And he's missed it. He was so preoccupied with staying inside his 40 that he got his end destination wrong.
He was over the sideline by a good couple of metres as well.
So an opportunity for the visitors. Okay, we're approaching the 40 on our clock. Remember, that's a rolling clock, so only the referee, Sam Michalauskas, will know how long there is to go. I would wager there's probably enough to complete this set. Can they
down for a head knock there.
Get themselves back in this contest? Still in it, of course, at 24-12, but it's 3 unanswered tries and a stoppage in play.
It would be an almighty boost if they could get over and head into the sheds 6 down rather than 12. There's a stop in play here. We hope he's okay. The doctors are on.
Let's have another look at this this gift.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to roll it through. Sees that the York wing is up flat.
I mean, there was a little bit of fortune. It ricochets off a York man into the hands of his teammate, but either way,
I just don't think that in the middle of the field you're almost chancing your arm doing that. Kick the ball downfield, go after them defensively. Instead they try a trick shot to try and get the way out of trouble. Liam Harris just takes that and runs away.
He's trying to be a bit too cute, perhaps.
Yeah.
Jake Shorrock's on the last when, as Kyle said, it just needed a little bit of a turn him around, territorial kick.
I just think it's a tough mindset to do that, to put a team in a corner and go after it with your defence rather than just trying to trick your way out of it. The risk and reward there at that stage in the game, I'm not sure it was needed. Perhaps if there was only 5 minutes left in the whole match, you would chance your arm at something like that. Obviously execute a lot better.
Oh, they've gone drop goal. There can't be long to go. He's gone for the 1.
He's got it.
And he has got it. Josh Woods. So obviously during the stoppage he said to the referee how long. Referee has probably said 1 second. He said, right, 1's better than nothing. 24-13 is the peculiar half-time scoreline. Kyle Amor.
Well, if they can drag themselves back and get another couple of tries, that 1 point might be the cleverest play of the week in rugby league. Might be enough just to see them home. Or perhaps they just need to respond a bit better. Newcastle, they started the game terrific. If you look at the first half in 2 halves, I thought Newcastle were pretty dominant in the opening 20 minutes. We just see the tries here again, and this was 4 minutes on the clock. Mullen, lovely show and go for the first try. He threw plenty of shape at them, and there Mullen just rolls it off. James Glover gets too interested in the outside man, loses his hips, and Craig Mullen, he dances his way through to score. But then York, they hit back after a repeat set. from Jamie Ellis, forcing a goal line dropout. It's half to half. Harris to Ellis. Mullins sliding in there, trying to do everything he can to put him off. But he's about a metre or two away from where he needs to be. It's a lovely weight on the kick, George. And that bounce there, perfect for him. And that was us at 6-all. And then it was this play here. It was batted down by Ward. Everybody switches off. There's 6 of them there. The reaction there from Kermond. He's the first one to react, but it's too late.
He's the only one to react.
He's the only one to react there. He goes past Matongo and just scores. Yeah, the reaction from York players there, not good enough. Let me see here again. Perhaps the play of the match there. Inside ball. Marsh caught in two minds. Eventually finds the right pass. And it was Dixon for immediate impact off the bench to score.
Yeah, the big impact. That's what's changed the game, wasn't it? That double change with Jack Teamby and Ronan Dixon up the middle.
And that's a lovely line though from Marsh. Slices straight through. And Dixon. Simple try for him. And this was here from Glover. Cuts a lovely line. Straight through centre and winger. And that flick. Wonderful piece of skill. Seeing it again, they're moving the ball from left to right. Ellis does everything right, sucks the man in, tips inside. Marsh, he does well there, doesn't he, when we're watching that back, to gather that in. And it was just this here. Yeah, such a poor kick. A gift, you mentioned, George. Perfect way to describe it. Liam Harris, well, he runs 40-50 metres. And I mentioned he won't get a simpler try than that today.
And that could be a big moment in the game. Put it in the corner, keep it tight, even go in 6 down at the break.
Exactly, yeah.
Now
I mentioned if it was towards the latter end, the latter stage of the game, then maybe you have to take a risk. I don't think with 5-6 minutes to go, surely the high percentage player putting it in the corner and going after them and forcing an error like they have done a couple of times, Newcastle, with the defence. Perhaps that would have been a better play. And then real smarts from Newcastle, well, we'll soon find out over the next 40 minutes if it's real smarts taking that 1 point in the last second of the first half.
Go over.
You may as well.
So if it's 1 or nothing, you might as well have the 1. And that's why we have the half-time score of 24 points to 13. Really watchable, really compelling first 40 of Betfred Challenge Cup 4th round rugby league here, live on the Sportsman from the LNER Community Stadium. Don't go anywhere. Kyle Amor will be alongside me for the second half of this one. But at half time, it's York who lead Newcastle. They lead by 24 points to 13.
Follow the Sportsman on social media
and follow their YouTube channel for exclusive content.
Tune in to the weekly rugby league show, The Last Tackle, exclusively on the Sportsman YouTube channel.
Welcome back, players out. Second half poised. And it's Newcastle Thunder with a bit of work to do after that sticky end to the first half for them, and that purple patch that the home side were able to find, led by their playmakers Matty Marsh, Liam Harris and Jamie Ellis. 24 points to 13. Plenty of other Betfred Challenge Cup fourth round action today. I'll give you all the scores in just a moment as James Ford, the York City Knights head coach, makes his way with his coaching staff over to this near side. And Eamon O'Carroll is back as well.
You mentioned there the 6, 7 and 1 for York. Those three players, they can only play like that off the back of a good go forward pack. And Newcastle, well, they just fell away in the last sort of 20 minutes in that area. It's important that they start this second half fast, get right back into the contest.
I have noticed, Kyle, that every time we work together, me and my 5'9" frame on my tiptoes are always keen to praise the 1, 6 and 7.
Yeah.
And the grand final winning prop forward next to me is always going on about how the platform is laid by the pack.
Yeah, well, it's the old saying, isn't it? You know, forwards lay the platform and the back score the tries.
That's it. Let's hope for a big second half, though. Hope you're enjoying our coverage live on the Sportsman, exclusive live action throughout a huge year for Rugby League in 2022. We'll have live streams continuing from the Betfred Challenge Cup, the Women's Super League, League One and the wheelchair competition as well. 6 o'clock every Wednesday for the last tackle. Our magazine show on the Sportsman. You were on there last week, weren't you, Carl?
Yeah, I was on there with Adrian Morley.
Really struggling for guests last week, but I'm told it will get better. I think actually is it Jamie Peacock?
Well, there you go.
Coming up this week.
Proper guest.
And I think Mr. Sculthorpe as well.
Yeah.
So two absolute legends of the game, following in the footsteps of Kyle last week.
Laying the platform.
Yeah. Well, as all good prop forwards have to do, you keep telling me. What do Newcastle have to do? They have to keep piling up the middle and then just, I think, be a bit cuter with some of their decision making that let them down towards the end of that first half, because take away the last 10 minutes, it was an even contest, wasn't it? The ball's come out, the referee, I think, is just going to say, we'll get up and play the ball, let's check on the injury first, is he?
It's a bad one.
Doesn't look good, that immediate concern start of the second half, so we'll keep our eye on that one for you.
He's rolling around in a bit of pain. I thought his leg looked a bit awkward as it came up. I hope he's okay. He's in a lot of discomfort though, we can see on that far side.
We're a long way away, but it looks, what you're saying, right ankle, perhaps right knee.
Yeah, I think the stretch is coming on as well.
Let's have a look at this if we can.
Just a number of bodies in there, and just awkwardly goes underneath him. Oh yeah, no, it's never a pretty sight, that. Wow.
That's not good.
No.
That's, I would suggest that's a bad one.
That's a bad one, it certainly looks it. Foot looked awkwardly twisted in the wrong way, perhaps.
I think that might be a dislocated ankle from my non-medical background. First and foremost, we hope he's alright. You're right, you don't see a big fella going down in that much pain for no reason.
He stood in the tackle, fighting three of them. And as they driven towards the sideline, his legs got tangled underneath each other. Perhaps his ankle, we think.
Well, during this stoppage, let's bring you up to speed with the state of play elsewhere in round 4 of this Betfred Challenge Cup competition. A reminder that the draw is made tomorrow night on Premier Sports, who are covering the final game from this round, which could be tasty. Lee against Widnes. Batley Bulldogs have ended the run of the Royal Navy, and in style, with a thumping 66-6 victory. Doncaster 0, Whitehaven 60. Wow, that's a big one. Hunslet Club Parkside 20, Sheffield 22. Workington have beaten Dewsbury by 26 points to 12, so back to winning ways for Chris Thorman up at Derwent Park. Halifax 6, Featherstone 16 in another all Betfred Championship tie. I think those two sides are actually playing each other in the league next week, so back-to-back games for them. London 8, Bradford Bulls 12. I was at the London game at Featherstone last week, and even though you look at the score and think London got walloped, I was really impressed by them.
Yeah.
They got the coach up and basically arrived half an hour before the game, got off the coach, trotted out, played for 80. I thought they were really good. Rochdale 6, Barrow 16, that's a half time. And here, as you can see, early stages, second half, 24-13. There's going to be a lot to add on here as well. The referee, of course, has poised his clock. A reminder, we're operating the rolling clock, as you can see, top left of your screen. So when we get to the 80, we'll be playing on. But a little bit of concern still at the moment over on the far side with the stretcher out.
Brett Delaney there just had a jog over the former Leeds man, telling James Ford it was a bad one.
Yeah,
it's his ankle.
Brought in Delaney into the coaching staff. Bags of experience. Lives in Shadwell in Leeds, I believe. Well, I know that because that's where my parents live and they've told me. See him around occasionally.
Just looking through them scores, George, that's a Hunslet Parkside 20, Sheffield 32. I know they've obviously been 12 points down, but it's a terrific there from the NCL side.
Fantastic effort. We've seen some big performances from the conference side. I mean, the mini run for Block Lane, which we featured on the Sportsman, was excellent.
Great to see, isn't it? We see those early rounds when we...
And of course, the run for the Navy as well.
Yeah, it's just great. We're seeing on BBC Sport the cameras there for the Oral St James's game against the Army. Terrific numbers. Great to see all the kids out there as well, supporting the local community teams as well as everybody else. And there's something beautiful really about the Challenge Cup, that those teams obviously in the early rounds, they can dare to dream, can't they, and get on a good cup run. The players out here now just keeping warm.
They're doing their best to keep warm. Yes, the sun is out, but it's still bitterly cold, swirling wind. Brett Delaney, you can see there on the right, the former grand final winner with the Rhinos, talking to the officials. Doesn't change, does he?
Nope. Again, when this game does resume, Newcastle, they have to go right back at it. Don't let that don't let that distract them. Sorry.
Well, it's tough this for the players because they've effectively had now 2 half times back to back, one with the team talk and one without. And they've picked themselves up to go, and then they've gone for 90 seconds, 2 minutes, and then this extended break now. It's definitely the right ankle.
Yeah.
And they're I think just trying to secure the ankle before they move the stretcher here.
A long time on the sidelines for him. I'm sure all of his team, fans, and everyone get behind him, support him over the next few days.
So worrying moment at the start of the second half of this Betfred Challenge Cup, 4th round tie in the Sportsman. Eventually, I think we're going to get ourselves back underway here. York are doing stretches over on our left-hand side. Newcastle's more half-hearted to our right.
It is difficult for the players when you have a stoppage in play. Like you said, George, you've just come out, you've got your heart rate back up, your head back in the game, and then you effectively have another half-time. It's important that you just start straight back at it. Don't miss the beat. There's still the whole entire second half almost, isn't it? Only 3 minutes into that first half, second half, sorry.
So a long break in play. The referees and officials taking their opportunity just to catch up as well. Took their wires back in, but not the start to the second half that anyone wanted here, let alone fans, staff, the players out there. And the concern, first and foremost, over the injury, but the medical staff, as we see throughout rugby league at the moment, taking absolutely no chances at all. And warm applause.
And these two sides next week, both back in action. York with a trip down to London, and Newcastle, they take on high-flying Leigh Centurions at Leigh. A couple of challenging games ahead of them, but none more important than this one today. Newcastle there, they had a little huddle, everyone off the bench as well on the field. I've not seen that before. Trying to fire the lads up once again. Stress the importance of getting through a good performance in this second half. They have got a bit of an uphill task. 11 points down on the board.
Yes, a lengthy delay.
But a try puts them straight back in it. It really does. But I just think that the importance of feeling that you don't have to score every time, George. I think, you know, if they're prepared to roll the sleeves up and do the tough stuff, kick the ball long and chase hard, they'll get the rewards.
That's gone high, comes down with interest, but his positioning was really good.
There is a patience and the discipline required to do that, just to keep turning them around. Eventually you will get a chance. It's just been clinical enough to take them opportunities when they present themselves.
So can these two sides raise themselves after that lengthy delay? It's York City Knights holding sway. There's 4 tries to 2 in the first half. 3 of them reeled off unanswered. And it's the Knights in possession on halfway. Jamie Ellis is the man who's made things tick. Then Kerman taking the drive.
He's still going. You can't deal with him, can't put him down.
It's the last tackle though.
Gets a decent play of the ball for Ellis to put a high and hanging kick in. The chase is good.
He chased it himself, but no mistake from Craig Mullen, who's had a good game, but he might find himself back behind his own post here.
It's good defence, and that's what I was talking about, George, what Newcastle needed to do. Just be happy to turn the ball over, put it in the corner, and just make these carries really uncomfortable for the team coming off their own line. 2 tackles gone, 5 metres made. And there's another one inside the 10, and this is how you really mentally break teams, George. Just asking them to come off the line and being met with a solid wall of defenders.
There goes the winger Gideon Boafa. Newcastle would do well just to complete a good
That's a terrific set.
Here.
Last tackle, only 20 metres made, and as a result you should get the ball back in a good attacking position.
That wasn't the pass he needed either, round his ankles, gets the kick away, but look where they are, already over halfway before the cavalry arrives, and Brad Ward is off. And you're right, brilliant defensive set from the Knights has set this up for them.
But just as a little learn of how the game goes, you know, York, they only have to walk back 10 metres. Their big front row is the ones who perhaps who do a lot of the intensity parts of the game.
Off he goes again. Chris Brining, he's looked lively, hasn't he, since he's come off the bench as well.
As is that man.
Yeah, the try scorer.
Dixon and team.
Ronan Dixon. Brining again, waits from dummy half. Will he fancy a go on his own? Thought about it. Ellis steps in instead. Can't get away from the shackles. Last tackle, and Ellis is out of the play here because he's on the deck. So he's going to have to come all the way back. Then a little step, and they're just going to turn it over right in front. There was no play because Ellis was on the deck there. Newcastle survive.
Just nothing thrown at them, was there? Newcastle there. And in the end, they just turn it over. He's backing up here again with a good defensive set, York, if they can.
Key moments in this cup tie. Always feels like the next scorer is crucial, certainly in this case. Has to be Newcastle, the Thunder will think.
You would have thought so, yeah, George.
But they can't get out their deep end at the moment, where they're treading water against this hungry York City Knights defence.
They're just not getting any quick play of the balls. They're doing a good job on them, York, in the
They're going
ruck.
to kick on the 4th just to try and change the momentum here, but they've not found any gaps, not found any space. It's a better end to the set from last time, but
Yeah,
still not asking too many questions of York, who come again immediately down the middle.
there's just nothing for Newcastle at the minute. They're not generating any ruck speed at all. You know, York are doing terrific work on the floor in the wrestle, just making it slow. And that's a good carry there.
Yeah, look where they are already. They're eating up the territory at the moment, the home side. Winning the battle down the middle that we said was so key. And Brining's looked sharp off the bench since he's come on.
yeah,
Through the
through.
gap, and they got support inside. It's another score. York City Knights, and that could be a big one for Marcus Stock. Daylight for York in this Betfred Challenge Cup tie.
Poor defence, I have to say, from York. It's that man again, Liam Harris. He swings from one side of the ruck to the other, creates the extra number, and has all the shape outside of him. We see here, he just swoops round, shows two runners and just slices straight through a hole, and that is poor defence, I have to say. Well, Carroll and Betts, they're not going to be pleased with that. We see here, he gets his hands on the ball and he just shows it and goes straight past Lewis Peach. Feeds it back inside for Marcus Stock. I feel that is a huge score in the context of the game, George.
Feels like a game breaker. We're still very early on after that lengthy stoppage, but it's all been York City Knights. That's their 4th unanswered try since those 2 scores from the Newcastle Thunder fullback Craig Mullen. And they've all been converted by that guy.
Just seems to have far too much time, Liam Harris, the middle defence of Newcastle. They need to get up quicker and do the job, look after the ball. He slices straight past there, Lewis Peachy, and I think it's Chappell out. Gives it back inside. Stocky even has time to put a finger in the air, congratulate himself. 30 points to 13.
Well, it's not done and dusted, but Newcastle have to find a spark from somewhere because they've gone flat.
Yeah. They're just getting rolled. York are playing the ball, winning the collision. Too quick. Meters gained, too easy. That's 2 carries there and they're almost over the halfway line.
And they've got the crowd involved now, York, as well, which makes a difference.
Yeah. They've been pretty quiet as the crowd so far.
You can hear them now as Ellis gets involved. They sense this is the moment. They sense blood here, York.
Again, Kermon just allowed to play the ball so quick.
There goes the try for a Stock again.
Wonderful footwork, plays it again quick.
It's the last tackle, do they know? Yes, they do. Dabbed through, it's a lovely kick. It's turned them around. Where's it going to go? It's going to bobble out of play right in the corner.
Perfect response after a try. One end of the field to the other. And just asking Newcastle to come off the line once again. Predominantly in this second half, our heads have been turned to the right, haven't they, George? We've not seen anything from Newcastle so far.
They've not had a sniff.
I just think it's the defensive work from York. They've stepped it up. It's another level.
It's been much more like the York City Knights side a lot of us were expecting to see this season.
Yeah.
Still very early on.
You just fear there that this score could end up blowing out for York. There is that sense.
Tackle count wiped clean. That will help the Thunder here, who breach halfway for the first time this half.
Yeah.
And they've got a full set to go at. They might even get a penalty. No, the referee says just get up, play the ball. But here come Newcastle with Bailey Connor.
But just look at the defensiveness. Look how tight they all are in that ruck. Just allows York to get set, eyes up, look at the shape and get forward.
Next score has to be theirs. It's Nathan Wild joining in. Eves. Short ball, knock on. Oh dear. Forward pass as well.
Yeah, Josh Woods just trying to do a little soft tip there to his front rower to go through the first line of defence, but he's not aware of it. It bounces off his chest. Perhaps wasn't expecting the ball. It's Chappell out.
Dennis Betts over to our left, just hammered a couple of empty seats in frustration.
Well, he knows that his side for the opening 10 minutes of this second half haven't had any sort of field position whatsoever. And when they do get it, well, they just throw it back to York and say, go on then, we want to do more defending. Unfortunately, in the game of rugby league, in order to win, you have to have hold of the ball more often than not.
It's been all York.
Again, George, just rolling forward, 10, 12 metres gained with every carry. Let's tackle 3 and look where we are.
Certainly the hungrier the two sides now.
They got the bit between the teeth.
Brining, glance right. Left is the shout.
He's been big today, hasn't he, Harris?
It's
Been in the heartbeat of everything.
There's been quite a few big performances in there. Just pops it up down the middle. And they'll set up a play here. Just to the left of the post. A couple of tackles to go. He's going to kick and chase himself. Where's the ball gone? Regathered just.
I even lost it there myself. I didn't know where it was at.
Good
But see, that's
in the end.
the difference between the Shorrock's kick in the first half and that kick. Both of them just trying to roll it in behind the line, but from much better positions on the field, and obviously in the scoreboard well in your favour.
It felt like a big moment when they gift wrapped that try, and so it's proved. It just took all the steam out of it, didn't it?
I think so, George, yeah.
And you can see how the score has developed since that happened. It was 18-12 at the time. Newcastle go big. That's going to come to ground. Where's the bounce going to go? It's going to go over everyone.
Oh,
it's not backwards. He's going to have to field this because he's got a hand on it. What's the chase like? Not bad. So a better starting point from Newcastle's point of view.
Yeah. And this will tell us an awful lot about Newcastle's mindset, how they defend this next set.
They're not out of this yet, but they need to hit back. And of course, that serious injury means they're down to 3 replacements as well. That's a big shot.
Yeah, Kerwin just rides it and supplies the offload.
And here they go again, right down the middle.
And Brining looks for another offload and gets
one. Backdoor from Brining. Well, they're at 6s and 7s here, Newcastle. There are gaps here for York. That tackle had to be made, but still there are gaps. If they can work it back over to the left-hand side, that's where all the gaps are. They're stuck down this right channel, so Newcastle may get away with this. Last tackle. The switcher play is on for York. No, they're going to go skinny side. Little grubber kick through. They just turn the ball over.
Yeah.
Playing percentages, the home side.
That's it. That's all they need to do, George. Just hand Newcastle the ball in their own corner and challenge them to come out. But they need a better line of defence there. He almost gets through the net. But again, though, they're just finding it hard to get meters. I mentioned about the set before. Newcastle, they have to show something. Well, once again, they were just on the back foot, not wrapping the ball up. A couple of offloads in there. And when you do that, you've just got too many good players out there for this York side. In Ellis, Harris, Marsh. It's good defence as well.
It's been a very, very tough half, this, for Newcastle. This is the last, by the way. Need to get the kick away. Hurried downfield. Gets a skip of a bounce, but right into the arms of Matty Marsh. And here come York again. Will Jobs coming back on. Good stint from Chris Brining, I thought that.
Yeah. Solid.
Job back on, immediately there he is in the skull cap. He'll be fresh.
And running at a tired defence, more importantly.
It's looking increasingly lethargic, isn't it, this Newcastle defensive line. York, if they're not there already, no, one more will probably put this cup tie to bed. It's just been such hard work for Newcastle second half and even before half time. And here they come again. Kerman's had a good game. That one goes backwards behind Jamie Ellis. Will he go and kick early? No, he's going to keep going, and a lovely little dummy and almost through. This is the last. I just thought, might he kick early on the fourth? No. Job. It's going to be a high one. It hasn't gone. Oh, it's hacked forward. I think they're probably offside. Yes, they are. Yeah. Take your pick.
And those little details are the ones that annoy coaches. You're offside off a kick. Nail your roll, get behind the ball. As a result, instead of just getting through another good defensive set, you're now defending inside your own half just through a lax in concentration of just being behind the ball. And this is good movement from Newcastle. This is better.
Much more like it. This is how they started the game, Newcastle. This isn't done yet, If they can just find that spark again, there is enough time.
Yeah, I just don't see, though, how York...
Well, that flame seems to have been extinguished for quite a while.
They've not really had any... This is probably the best place they've attacked from in this second half, the best area of the field. They look to roll forward there with Nathan Wild. See what they've got now.
Eaves to his right shoulder and Woods getting back involved with Shorex, and the ball's gone to ground again, and they cough up another one. And Dennis Betts just glancing up to our left. Cannot believe what he's watching. He is pacing and pacing and pacing here.
But you're just not building any pressure whatsoever. It's almost like Newcastle are just saying, right, York, we're going to throw the ball from one side of the field to the other for 2 or 3 players, then we're going to let you have it back. We've already showed you that we don't mind defending, so give us some more, please. So frustrating for the coaches.
Turning into a frustrating afternoon for Newcastle, but credit York after falling behind twice to those Craig Mullen tries. They've put on a professional show here.
I do believe, though, George, you get more out of losing than you do winning, if that makes sense. And I think for Newcastle, well, you mentioned it at the start, they are a building club and they are looking for improvements on and off the field. And days like today, away from York, perhaps someone who's set the model up for them and have done it the right way.
Well, he said that, Eamon O'Carroll, when I spoke to him during the week, he said they do look at York and they're a couple of years ahead of them.
Yeah.
And he said all the noise around Newcastle Thunder, that noise isn't being made by them, he said. Let others make the noise about us. We know what our plan is. We've got too much respect for the competition to think we should be anywhere that we're not. It's about the day-to-day and the week-to-week.
A sensible approach as well.
Last tackle this. More defending to do. Ellis will go high, I'm sure. Yes, he does. Sweeps that wand of a right boot. Taken well by the fullback Craig Mullen. He's one I would say emerges with credit from today.
Yeah, I would agree with that, George.
But still the hunger is there in this chase, even an hour in.
I just think the difference has been it's the two packs. I think York, after that 20-minute mark, well, they've asserted the dominance, the introduction of those 2 blokes that we've mentioned a number of times off the bench. In fact, all 3 of them, Team B, Dixon, Stock, and you can add in there Brining as well. I think that's been the difference between the 2 sides, replacing like for like.
Last tackle. Again, it's going to need a good kick from Newcastle, and again it looks like they don't know where to put the ball. It's a rush play, it's kicks with traffic. Okay, it's not a bad end result and the chase is good, but it all looked a bit laboured for me, that end to the set.
Yeah, they just look like they've lost a bit of fizz out of the game. And there's still a quarter of the game left to play.
Yeah, 20 to go. Live on the Sportsman. Live and exclusive fourth round Betfred Challenge Cup Rugby League as York come again with Kermond. He's had a great game.
Yeah, there's just intelligence from him. So experienced.
Flings it backwards knowing where his teammates would be.
Yeah, just a hard direct carry in behind the ruck on the short side. Gets back into the centre of the field for an offload, and now they just sort of roll forward. The Irish international Ronan Michaels, of course, on loan from the Huddersfield Giants.
Here's Job, and there goes the big man Masi Matongo.
And this is where the intensity of their team just it doesn't drop, does it? You know, you replace those guys off the bench.
Last tackle
with Matongo and Michaels, who just get the job done, keep
Another
rolling
great
forward.
Claim, Craig Mullen. Well, that's been the story of this entire half so far.
It's just been a carbon copy, hasn't it? Each time York have had the set, all they've done is got through it, put it in a corner, and asked York to come all the way up the other end to get anything out of the set. But they've been clinical enough that when they needed to, they took their opportunities. We've only had one try in this second half through Marcus Stott after some wonderful work from Liam Harris. He slices through with ease to give it back to Stott for that try.
They need to try something different, Newcastle, because what they're doing at the moment is not breaking York down. This is what I want. This is more like it.
But it's
Last
just
tackle though.
Yeah. But it's met there from Jamie Ellis and company.
Gets
Good kick
the
pressure
away.
there from Danny Kermond.
Oh, what a take that is.
Yeah. And he turns it with interest and all. But again,
Brilliant sliding take.
Yeah.
There goes Matty Marsh. Kept relatively well shackled second half. And a very, very lively first 40. Job pushing the play. Having a look to see where his options are. Goes short side this time. Ogden taking the carry. Couple to go this set, York. Now Ellis. Now then, with Marsh joining the line, says go behind me, and they free the winger away. It's Brad Ward, but it's forward.
Yeah, I thought it was good hands.
Shake of the head from Jamie Ellis. He thought he had manufactured the breakthrough there.
Good shape. Matty Marsh. It looked like he wanted Glover to come underneath him.
It's one of those where you say it didn't need to be forward.
Yeah. But it won't bother James Ford that. Not at all. Good shape. Execution. Not quite there. I just think it's been real professional performance from York this second half. And they haven't had to force anything. They've just got through exactly what they need to do and just keep Newcastle well away from their try line.
$15 or so to go. Maybe a little bit extra after that lengthy injury stoppage. It's a rare foray into York City Knights territory for Newcastle, who started this game so brightly but have struggled since. Can they find a breakthrough to set up a grandstand finish? That's
Good
great
defence from
sliding
Ogden
defence from the Knights.
Ogden, he came flying in, had to kill the play and did so.
This is a better opportunity though for at least a repeat set for Newcastle. This will be the last.
What can they do here?
No, it's a couple to go, I beg your pardon. So a chance to look at the line. It's just popped up to Big Ed Chaplow. This is the last.
There's a huge space under the sticks, but they've missed that
Fullback wants
opportunity.
it again.
It's just another error.
Yeah, it's the third time they've looked at the line and the third time they've knocked on. And it's just not happening, I'm afraid, Newcastle fans. No way through what's been a very, very impressive York City Knights defence.
It just never looked like there was going to be any joy down that short side there. It was man-on-man defence. I think it was Wood just throw a bullet of a ball for his centre there in Sutton to try and catch, and he can't take it in. And as a result of this, when you're not defending your own line, it's the hardest part of the field to defend. It takes away the most energy, and when you don't have to do it, you tend to find you have more energy in attack. And you see that the evidence is all there today. In this second half, York have just rolled forward far too easy in this second half. Thompson again in behind the ruck, direct carry goes through.
Here we go, bags of options, take your pick, all the way through the middle, and it's the fullback Matty Marsh to seal the win for the York City Knights, who have been rampant.
Yeah, it was getting all too quick. Play after play on the back foot, not winning the floor, not winning the collision. Markers weren't set. Jordan Thompson just cuts a hard line right behind the ruck on a 50-60 metre break. Players clutching at straws trying to get him. He just tips the ball to Matty Marsh, who races away. Wonderful dive and all. 34 points. And you'd think this kick would be a formality as well.
Well, they just ripped Newcastle to pieces down the middle.
I just think this second half, they look like one team's a different division above the other. They really do. Been very, very impressed with York since the break. They've scored some terrific tries today as well, George, haven't they?
Oh, when it clicks, they look electric.
Yeah.
Not only the 1, 6 and 7, but as you said, that dynamic, powerful running up the middle as Ellis makes it 6 from 6 from his inch perfect boot and makes it a 36-13 scoreline in favour of James Ford and the Knights.
It's there, just a hard-nosed carry, goes straight through. I think it's Josh Eaves. He won't be happy with that, knowing him. Beautiful little ball as well to Matty Marsh, like all good fullbacks, supporting breaks. He gets his reward.
James Ford and his coaching team have seen enough on this near side. They're already making their way around the pitch.
Yeah, job done. Through to the next round.
Win this one.
Course, that draw will be done tomorrow. I'm actually at that game, George, tomorrow for Levy Widnes.
Are you going to be doing the draw then?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Don't mess it up.
Oh, another break on
they
here.
Want more. They're keeping the ball alive. Ellis in traffic gets the offload away.
It's men against boys at the moment. It really is.
Thompson, who set up that score. They could have as many as they want now. Masi Matongo. What a little purple patch Jordan Thompson's out. Yeah. Job. There he is again. Former Cast Tiger.
Poking his nose through, winning the collision again. Playing the ball. Defence aren't set for Newcastle. They're in trouble again.
Last tackle this off the outside of the boot from Harris, looking for a Marsh hat-trick. Not this time, but they will get the ball back.
And even just that set is the difference between the two sides. Newcastle, whenever they've been down in the second half, they've come up with errors.
6 tries for York today, 2 for Matty Marsh. Both halfbacks are on the score sheet, Harris and Ellis. And then the 2 guys off the bench, Dixon and Stock. It's been a very, very good performance.
There hasn't been a drop in intensity. Whoever's came on has just carried the baton forward, as is this man. That's a big carry, met there by Eaves and company.
Ronan Michael running into a brick wall. Job, the dummy half, has a glance to see where Masi Matongo is. And that's his answer. 4 options down this skinny side, make that 3 because Ellis is switching to go at first receiver and set them up down the left hand side. And already York punching holes with a forward pass to get Newcastle off the hook.
Jamie Ellis and Ronan Michaels just not quite getting the timing right on that play.
Look at the scores elsewhere. Latest scores: Halifax now 16, Featherstone 22, London 8, Bradford are going to win it. London 8, Bradford 28, Rochdale 12, Barrow 32. And the other game is here. York leading Newcastle 36-13, live and exclusive on the Sportsman. And it's been hard going for the guys in blue.
And a costly one as well with that injury. We mentioned before, the task for them doesn't get any easier back in the league. Away next Sunday to Lee Centurions. If they dust themselves down after this, lessons must be learnt.
Sure, they won't want to be nilled second half here, Newcastle, but that's the way it's looking at the moment, because York have given them absolutely nothing.
Oh, there's another error there. Josh
They've done too much of that.
Yeah.
And Ronan Michael picked it up, and York,
he's fired the ball there at Brad Gallagher.
well, all the hunger and appetite and intensity has gone from Newcastle. And York fancy they could add a couple more here into the last 10 minutes. I'll be asking for your Betfred player of the match at some point in the next 5 minutes, Kyle.
Well, it's a toss-up between one or three, isn't it? I think we all know that, given what we've seen today.
Here's Job, here's Thompson, who's had a big second half. Gets the offload away, and they're going to get 6 out off that, I think. It was a messy one, but Newcastle put a foot on the ball, and that's worked in York's favour as Kerman brings it back. Almost all of this ground in shadow now. It's been a bright sunny day, but still bitterly cold, very windy. And what a hit that is! Have some of that! Did I say the hunger had gone?
Josh Eaves there.
Josh Eaves with a monster collision. And the Thunder are still making a few ripples.
Yeah, and I think he's a bit rattled as well. He's
Wow.
hurt him in the process.
Have some of that, Toby Warren.
Josh Eaves, he didn't miss. It was an almighty collision, forces the ball out.
That was a cracker.
He's got that in his game, Josh.
Big hit from the hooker.
He's a tough kid.
Toby Warren's in no rush to get up.
No. Thought he was one
They've
of them
had a good day.
Yeah. It was one of them when he perhaps lost his marble for a minute, given the impact.
We've all had
I think
days
it's his
like
ankle. Looks like it's going to be okay, Warren.
There's always a bit of
A young back rower.
It's always a bit of physical, a bit of mental, and a bit of ego.
Yeah,
you know.
we see
There's
that
the hit.
again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have some.
Love it.
I love it when the contact is big and clean like that, and the guy who's done it just walks off. As if, yeah, that's what I've got.
Yeah.
That's what I've got.
He knows it was a big shot.
Fair play to Newcastle.
Good defence there. Jamie Ellis just smothering him from the inside.
That's warmed us up a little bit, that big collision. Hope you enjoyed that one at home. It's going to be York City Knights, though, into the hat for round 5 of the Betfred Challenge Cup. Reminder, the extra carrot for these Tides as they're into touch on the far side of possibly going all the way with the 1895 competition as well. Kyle will be doing that draw tomorrow evening on Premier Sports, into touch on the far side. So why don't you talk us through your Betfred player of the match from this one?
Well, I think we've mentioned the 6, 7 and 1 of York City Knights. They've had a large part in everything. Jamie Ellis has controlled it with his kicking game, got a try as well for all of his measures. This is that man Liam Harris. But if I had to, it's difficult because between Harris and the full-back Matty Marsh, but I just like the overall play from Matty Marsh, his injection of speed, pace. He's been on the end of some tries. He's such an attacking threat for York. He's my man of the match today, Matty Marsh.
The York City Knights full-back wearing 1, Matty Marsh, selected by Kyle Amor as today's Betfred Challenge Cup player of the match. It's been a big performance from him, as it has from this guy, Jordan Thompson, and they're still going with Harris on the far side and then Jacob Ogden joining in.
I must say I have been impressed with Harris as well.
Thompson is bypassed this time. Jamie Ellis.
Show and go. How many times have we seen that in his career?
Yeah, it's his trademark job. Kermond. Little step, 2 steps from Kermond, and he's still going with a third. And then grappled to the ground. Still moving forward though. Last tackle. Jubba's got Thompson on his left. He's got Ellis, there he is, on his right shoulder. Low kick through. Dangerous bounce. Picked up by York's player of the match, you would probably say, in Craig Mullen.
Yeah, definitely. He has. He's been a bright spark in perhaps a dull side. Newcastle.
Tough day at the
I
office.
got excited actually when I first, that opening first 10-15 minutes from Newcastle. I thought we were going to be in for a real contest, but the tit for tat nature, it was eventually Newcastle. They just couldn't hold them out, and those 2 tries before half time just proved just to be too much for Newcastle. And in this second half, well, they've almost been like the kid who fell out the tree. They've never been in it.
Last tackle. Newcastle again kicking from their own half. Little angled kick, hoping for the chase. The fullback Mullen is the nearest, but York get there first, and they will start from nigh on their own 40. There's the player of the match, Marsh, swirling the ball to Harris over on the left side. I think Danny Kermon's done. He's waving. I think he's keen to get in the showers.
Put his old feet up.
Yeah, the slippers on, get himself in the bar.
Yeah.
Have York got one more to send their increasingly vocal home support home even happier? You'll be happy, I'm sure, James Ford. Jordan Thompson, great second half from him.
I think James Ford will be encouraging his players to have a bit of that ruthless mentality, to keep carrying forward, to keep trying to put pressure on Newcastle, and keep posting points. They're all good habits to learn for later on down the road when you perhaps come up in tight games, to keep playing for the full 80 minutes and don't switch off.
Harris on the last goes high. That's swirling all over the place. Tester well taken by Gideon Boafo.
Yeah, it had to be an all. He's been quiet as that far side wingman. Not really seen much of the ball today, has he?
Dying embers of this contest, and the end of the road for Newcastle in the Cup this season. He'll be back to the bread and butter of their assault on the Betfred Championship. That looked forward.
It sure did.
Right in front of us. Referee and touch judge okay to let that go. I think you get away with those when you're trading 36-13 with a couple of minutes to go. Last tackle gets the boot on the ball, Josh Woods. Perfectly placed is the player of the match, Matty Marsh. Didn't have to move. There's a Newcastle man down in back play receiving treatment.
Yeah, you imagine the clock will get stopped any minute. The doctor's on the field, he has to stop it, yeah.
Because they're getting closer to the play. He's only 10 metres ahead of it himself, the official, so...
Not sure. I didn't see anything.
Can't
in back
quite
play.
see who that is from here. Looks like they're looking at his
head knock.
neck. Head knock.
I think so.
So this will be another delay. A couple of York players have got cramp, which tells you how much they put into this fixture.
Or how hard the pitch is.
Or how hard the pitch is. Some tired bodies out there, but I think they'll enjoy their evening, the York players today, knowing this has been a job well done. 2 from 4 in the league. So take this game into account. That'll be 5 games played, including losing to 2 very good sides, and they won the 3 others.
Yeah. No, we speak about, Newcastle taking lessons from York. Well, York, they have to take lessons from clubs like Featherstone and Lee, and because ultimately they're the ones who are standing in the way of them. Widnes as well up there.
They look the dominant force to me. I know Widnes are up there, but I've done a lot of work this year at Featherstone Rovers, so I've had the pleasure of actually being at all the Rovers games, and they do look like a juggernaut. I think Big Joey Leilua was back today as well in that game at Halifax. He did his hamstring, I think, in the 3rd minute, or very early on in their first game of the championship season. But actually, speaking to their head coach Brian McDermott in the week since, he said he's actually fit to play. It's just the pitches at the moment are so bad. I don't want him going out there and playing on that muddy, heavy pitch, because he's just going to get injured again.
No, definitely, I can understand that.
But they've got some artillery there. They've got some very, very good players, and they've got a grand final winning head coach.
Yeah, they've signed and recruited really well. Obviously, the ambition of the Featherstone club is to get that promotion. You need to build a squad ready for that. So often we've seen it with Toulouse already this year, and perhaps Leigh the year before. You have to be well equipped to come up. It is a difficult task to build a squad to get into Super League, and the challenge more often than not is not actually getting to Super League, it's staying in there that's the most difficult task of all. And that's his afternoon done. Connor Bailey, he leaves the field in the dying minutes of the game.
Yeah, off he goes.
Stadium clock there to our left, George. Got 2 minutes 23 on the clock. Is there another try in this?
They'll hope so, York and their fans, I'm sure. Job to Ronan Michael. Ellis is hanging back to the right hand side. Play goes away from him to the left, and a penalty given away. Was that for back chat?
I think so.
Oh dear. Talking to the official with 2 minutes to go. No need. There goes Michael.
They'll come right.
Is there one more? Job. Elusive running of Thompson again, looking to get the ball clear. Job wants a speedy play of the ball. Can he get it? Yes, he can. Over to the left-hand side. Harris joining in, and then the good angle on the reverse. Ellis is hanging all the way back at second, third receiver here, way behind play. Here he is now, wearing 7. Lovely ball to Marsh, frees up the winger, and York with an acrobatic finish in the corner, and Brad Ward finishes a wonderful York City Knights move with a terrific try and a brilliant performance to progress in the Betfred Challenge Cup.
And what a try it was, and all. Try of the day for me. Wonderful ball movement, terrific shape, everybody an option, everybody knowing the role, timing, depth, detail, and then this on the end, the execution, it's all there to be seen. Fantastic try, a real tick in the box for York today. I've loved everything about how they went about the business in this second half. Terrific try to finish the game off.
Fabulous rugby league try. Perfectly crafted, as you say, Kyle, and it still needed finishing.
Yeah.
Good winger's try. You've got a winger at Saints who does a few of them.
Yeah, we have, yeah. Tommy Makinson will be proud of that one there.
What it does mean, though, is that Jamie Ellis might not have his 100% kicking record.
Oh, I'm sure he won't be bothered.
Because he's got to try and maintain it from a couple of feet in from the touchline. 6 from 6 so far. There's the hooter. So this will be us.
Yeah.
Ellis from the touchline. Oh, he has.
Oh, yes.
There you go. 7 from 7 without breaking sweat.
I was blowing that over from up here then.
Perfect kick from Ellis. Nigh on perfect performance from the York City Knights. The Thunder quietened here at the LNER Community Stadium. The York City Knights laying down a marker with a big win in the Betfred Challenge Cup. Kyle Amor.
Yeah, terrific game, but a terrific performance from York in that second half. Almost looked a gulf of class between the two sides there in that second 40. And that try just typified it at the end. The detail, timing was all there to be seen. It was a terrific finish in the corner. But only 2 tries scored in the second half. 3, sorry. My mistake. But it wasn't just about the tries, it was just for me the way that York controlled and dictated the field to Newcastle Thunder. It seemed to be constantly Newcastle coming off their own line. Of course, for Newcastle, when they did manage to get any sort of field position, they just squandered it with errors. But we're seeing here, this was the first try. Harris slipped through some weak defence, back inside for Stott.
Yeah, that was Stock breaking through after half time.
There's Harris again here, there. He just sells the dummy. Goes straight through and passes it inside. Wasn't the best there from Lewis Peach. And this carry here from Jordan Thompson. Josh Eves and Connor Bailey, they can't deal with him. He goes straight up the guts of the field. Draws in the full-back and supplies the man of the match in Matty Marsh. He was everywhere today. Gets himself another try. That step off his foot there. That defence has got to be better. Shows wonderful patience there as well, just to pick off the right pass at the end. Jordan Thompson.
And we saved the best till last, I think.
And this was just a high quality try. Everybody involved, everybody nailing the role. Depth and timing's all there. Sucks the defence in, and Matty Marsh uses his speed to create a 2-on-1, and that finish.
He must have been thinking, I'm on a hat-trick here. I'm on a hat-trick here. Do I?
It's just great to see. We can see everyone nailing the role again. Making defenders accountable, making them
finish.
Yeah, making them make the wrong choices. I always think that the best teams are the ones who can do the best decision making at speed whilst under fatigue. And it was all there, the evidence there. Wonderful try.
Well, it's been a brilliant weekend of Betfred Challenge Cup 4th round action. Let's bring you up to speed with all the scores from elsewhere before we go. York City Knights march on. They've won here by 42 points to 13. Their best performance, you would say, of the season. They were really, really good today, especially second half. Elsewhere, Batley Bulldogs 66, Royal Navy 6, Doncaster 0, Whitehaven 60, Hunslet Club Parkside 20, Sheffield 40, Workington have beaten Dewsbury 26-12, Featherstone have done it at Halifax 29-16. Bradford, they pulled away from London in the capital. London 8, Bradford Bulls 34, and Barrow win again. Rochdale 12, Barrow 38, which leaves us tomorrow night.
Yep.
Lee versus Widnes. You'll be covering that one on Premier Sports. Looking
yeah,
forward
that's
to that
right.
one.
My debut on Premier Sports, so really looking forward to that. I'll be alongside Kevin Brown and Emma Louise Jones in doing that game. Two top sides. You know, Widnes are flying high at the moment, and Lee are always there or thereabouts, so it'll be a real good contest between them two, and of course the draw afterwards. So exciting day to wrap it all up tomorrow.
Well, Kevin Brown is the best friend of Eamon O'Carroll, who's the head coach here of Newcastle Thunder, whose side have been given a bit of a lesson today, you would say, beaten by a very, very clinical and well drilled York City Knights side. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage on the Sportsman. Make sure you keep across the Sportsman throughout 2022. It's a huge calendar year for the sport of rugby league, with the carrot of the Rugby League World Cup looming large at the end of it, but plenty to get through until then. Betfred League 1, Women's Super League, Challenge Cup, the Betfred Super League, the Wheelchair Super League, with exclusive live action streamed on the Sportsman, and plenty of content day to day in between. That's as far as we go, Carl. Always a pleasure. Drive safe and drive slowly on your way back, please.
I will do.
And we'll see you next time. And the draw is made for round 5 tomorrow night. York City Knights will be in it. They've beaten Newcastle 42-13. From Kyle Amor and me, George Riley, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
This is one of the favourite days of the year, the Rugby League Challenge Cup. Energy and noise of a big crowd for a big Rugby League occasion.